Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Thoughts to Think About. My name's Efrain.
I'm Liz.
And I'm Reid.
And we've got some thoughts for you to think about today. Welcome back. It's Thoughts to Think About. How are we doing, everybody? Doing okay?
You kind of threw me off a
Swell.
little bit.
Did I?
You were very loud.
Yeah.
Too loud?
Yeah.
Too excited for you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just making you nervous, you know? Depending on when you listen to this could be an abrupt, kind of morning wake-up call.
Really
but this is what
true.
you need,
Yeah.
This is what you need.
I was going to yell in the mic. I just said it. Not you.
Let me not. Better not.
I have had about 8 ounces of water today, and the rest of me is just full of caffeine.
Oh.
I've had coffee twice today, and I've significantly cut down what I have malfunctioned for a second. And then I had an energy drink.
Caffeine.
I had an energy drink, and so I'm just wired.
Nice. You're fired up.
Yeah, I'm fired up.
Yeah, I mean, 2 cups of coffee, rookie numbers. You just gotta.
Reid, what's your
that
average
up.
coffee intake, cup-wise?
Cup-wise, I mean, I'm thinking, if we're talking about cups as in 8 ounces, we're
Sure.
talking 4 or 5 cups probably a day.
Dang, dude.
It's and I mean, that's probably a lot, but, I've gotten used to it. But I know people who are far higher in their coffee
What's the
consumption.
highest then? Without, putting anybody on blast. What's the highest?
I mean,
Call them out.
like 4 or 5 cups of coffee and some espresso as well, and just
These are his-
and it's all day
Sodas.
It's all day long. Seriously, I'm talking to somebody 10 p.m. They disappear. Where were you? I was making a coffee. What?
These are his new Instagram aesthetic espresso buddies.
Yeah, that's probably
yeah.
true.
He's
I
now
forgot to tell
changed
you
man.
guys. Yeah, I hang out at a coffee shop with just some new people. So
Just some cool.
yeah, we're actually starting a
some cool
podcast.
The
cats.
wide brim hat.
All we do is sit around and drink Cubano coffees or whatever it's called.
Right.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Wow.
That's awesome. I wish, in the stage of life that I'm in, where I'm up with my children all the time, it feels like it would be
He has
useful.
kids?
I have kids.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It feels like it'd be
When?
useful
Wait,
to
when?
drink coffee. When do I have kids? All the time. All the time, man. I can't get rid of them. But it feels like it'd be super useful to be a coffee drinker. But I just don't feel like it.
Just start.
I just don't feel like it does anything for me.
It's all a mental game.
I
Honestly.
feel like it is a little bit, but obviously there's science there, but I don't know.
The drugs numbed him.
Dave,
There-
Too many drugs numbed him to the coffee.
Wow.
so, but I'm at the point where I'm like, man, maybe if I just try, maybe if I just try, it'll help.
That's what people say about
Some
legitimate drugs. Just try.
Just once.
Cocaine.
To see if it helps.
just once. Take the edge off.
Golly.
Don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs,
Please.
kids. Well,
So Efrain's hat, he's a really big fan of Kang the Conqueror.
Kang the Conqueror, I'm a big
Kangs,
Kangs,
right
fan.
on the hat.
Like Cane's, the restaurant Cane's.
No, Kang.
Raising Canes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
Raising Canes.
he's got a Kang's hat right there.
What?
Cane's.
So when I initially saw you when we came in to record,
Mm-hmm.
I just couldn't stop looking away from
the
how
hat.
big this
Oh,
hat is on your head.
This is so funny because I was like, maybe I'll just tie up my hair today. But I was like, if I do that, that's all we're going to talk about on the podcast. And so isn't it great that I'll just wear a hat today instead. And you know
Yeah.
what? That's what we're talking about.
well, if your hat made sense, but no one knows what that says.
I'm not worried about what people see of my hat. It's just a
Amen.
hat,
He said, I don't care about what people
I
say.
ain't worried about it. I ain't worried about it.
But I care about what it says. So can you explain?
Yeah, it's King's Kaleidoscope merch.
Oh.
King's Kaleidoscope is a band
Yeah.
that I'm into. That they're pretty good. Got to see them a few months ago and bought their merch. I actually did merch for the opener. I don't know if I've talked about this on the podcast.
Not even in
Not even
our
in the
real
slightest.
life.
Yeah. So I did merch for their opener for this show that was in town. His name's Tyson Motzenbacher, which is a name. So it's a good thing it wasn't that
What?
name on my hat, right? Because that would have been even harder to read. And so and so I did merch for them. Got to show up. Got
Yeah.
free admission, and I had to buy the hat.
Oh,
because
Ooh.
I mean, but
You
that's
didn't
support,
design that
support
one.
local
gotta
musicians,
support their grind.
I mean, King's Kaleidoscope's not necessarily local.
No,
No,
but
definitely
he
not,
was working
but-
with the opener guy. Oh, you're right. But that's not a.
he's from San Diego, so
Yeah,
he's
oh.
not local either. It was
Well,
a touring. show, but
Give me free stuff then.
Yeah.
that's their grind, man. And so so I bought a hat. The guy that I opened for, or I did merch for, he wrote a book, and so I'm reading that right now.
Oh, wow.
It's called Where the Waves Turn Back. It's really cool.
Interesting.
Like, we all kind of regularly hang out, and there's just so much information that you've said that I didn't know.
Just
at
little
all.
mysteries. There's,
Wow.
I just like to keep it mysterious.
Well, he's given
He
all
likes
of
to
our
lie. That's
know?
what.
he's given a lot of our hangout time to his children, which is just so rude. I cannot believe he did that.
Got you, boys. And my dogs.
Whatever.
No, they are children.
They are children. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting big kaleidoscope from it, but I don't see kings.
Yeah,
So
that's so it was kind of crazy because they were talking about, so they do the King's Kaleidoscope does a like pre-show kind of acoustic, like
that's
backstage kind of deal.
for the
And so
Patreon.
for the Patreon, the like the subscribers,
Same.
they paid extra money to be there, and so
Right.
I got to just hang out, because I was
Wait,
just,
that's so cool.
it was super dope. And so it was pretty close knit, it was just, maybe 15, 20 people there.
You guys are
standing
pals
around.
now.
It was, not really, I wish, but so they were doing their thing. And so they were talking about like the name King's Kaleidoscope. And so that's apparently like a big discussion of whether or not there should be an apostrophe in there. And so, because a lot of people, they're like, they have worshipful music and they reference, God and Jesus a lot. Like that's pretty much what they talk about.
Right.
And so their fan base is all, primarily Christian. And so they're like, oh, it's like the King's Kaleidoscope.
Right.
It's like God's people is, it's a unique collection to whatever. And that's what people think. And so I think he kind of was like explaining, he was like, I just thought it sounded cool. And so it's like super
really-
intentional.
It's not deep.
It's
not
really a
apostrophe.
kaleidoscope comprised of kings. Right?
Yeah,
it's
and
a
they-
king's kaleidoscope.
Yeah. And that's kind of what they were like, is it this? And they're like, nah, not really.
No, it just sounds cool.
Yeah, like, it sounds kind of cool. So it was kind of funny.
I watched a reel recently. It's the band Need to Breathe. And someone was like, if you could choose any other band name, what would it be? And they all like busted out laughing. And one guy was like, it's so funny you bring that up because none of us like the name.
Yeah.
Oh,
Need
brutal.
to Breathe.
Because it's all squished together. There's no spaces in the Need to Breathe.
And Need to Breathe is like a Christian. Are they? They're not worship. It's just like Christian music.
What is worship, Liz?
Christian in a band. Christians in a band.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm talking about like contemporary.
I'm
like
just kidding. she's like getting real defensive real quick.
I've stumped her for sure.
No,
Yeah,
Listen.
that's not what the goal was.
yeah, they're just like
you've just been coming at me in the moment I walked into this room.
Reid. Need to Breathe is like they opened for Taylor Swift way back in the day, so they're just kind of like
Wow, I did
just a
not know
band,
that.
Yeah. And so then
Just a band.
they talk about Jesus and stuff.
Yeah,
too,
they do.
so,
Yeah.
but that would
a
and
bad
it's all caps too.
Yeah,
it's like super
It's not a good name.
I don't know. There was like somebody who did like all caps and spaces.
and spaces in between every
Yeah,
letter.
That was weird.
A band called Arizona.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah. So when I first started Heights, that's what I did because there's a band. I think it's Arizona. I think it's the band, and they have spaces and all caps and stuff too. And I was like,
Yeah.
I'll do that because that's a little different. And I
Yeah.
hated it because it was awful. Nobody you
Couldn't
could
find
search it
your
up.
music, dude.
Yeah, and you could not
No.
find it. It was terrible.
Well, and then you like contemplated changing it to HII.
yeah.
and when you
I
showed
was like,
me-
maybe I'll just change the whole letters, the
Heights.
spelling. I'll put 3 I's in there. I'll make it. Yeah, I thought about all kinds of different
So
ways.
good.
So I just took the spaces away, added a period, and so
Right.
it worked. And now
Problem
I'm
solved.
famous. So
Heard it here first.
heard it here first, everyone.
It's
He
news
is-
to all of us.
Thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
the ground floor.
You're here right at the start.
Ground zero.
If you're looking to jump on the most independent, the most unknown,
Yeah.
It's
right here.
Kickstarter.
Okay, stop marketing yourself.
Yeah. So I actually have 2 stories to tell you guys.
Oh,
one happened this
great.
week, and it's not funny, but I just thought it was interesting.
I don't care. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
it's not funny. I don't want to hear it.
Sally.
Okay.
So what happened this week? Reid?
So I was at the church for like a Bible study on Saturday, early in the morning, and they came to deliver some stuff, and they didn't know that we were going to be there.
the
or
Bible study came to deliver.
No, there was a delivery truck that came to deliver some stuff that while we were there, they didn't know we were going to be there, but it turns out there was a lot more stuff than they expected. And so they needed help unloading it. So we took a break and helped unload it. While we're unloading, the truck driver was like, hey, here's my pocket knife. I want you to have it.
What?
Yeah. The truck driver is like, he gave me his pocket knife. And I was like, okay, why? And he said, well, I had to catch a flight tonight at 7 and they won't let me keep it. So I figured I'd rather it go to somebody who could use it than to just get taken away by TSA. I was like, okay, that's weird.
You look like a guy that needs a knife.
Right.
What the heck?
But so I asked, okay, so you're flying home, you're delivering stuff in a truck in Houston, you're flying home. Where do you live? He was like, oh, I live in Seattle. I was like, how did you get here? How did you get from Seattle delivering things to our church in Houston? And he was like, okay, so we load this truck up with stuff that needs to be delivered. And I just drive to all of these delivery sites and then fly home, leave the truck, with the, it's like a part of
the company,
like a national firm or whatever, national truck rental place. Yeah. And so basically he was telling me over the course of 6 days, he drove from Seattle all the way down the coast of California, stopping in a bunch of different cities like San Francisco, San Diego, drove to Arizona, dropped off some stuff in Arizona, drove to Dallas, dropped off some stuff in Dallas, and then came and finished up with us in Houston. I was like,
intense.
Man. Yeah.
What kind of truck was it? Like a 18-wheeler?
It was a Penske truck. It was like it wasn't an 18-wheeler size. It was more like the biggest U-Haul you could possibly get. So
dang, dude.
Yeah.
That's intense.
Right. So it's just weird. Like he was just like, hey, here's my knife. I was like, okay, cool.
Where's the knife?
It's in my room.
You should have brought the knife. I want to see the knife.
Well, I'll show you guys later.
We'll show a picture of it. Yeah, that's crazy.
But yeah, I was like, man, what a weird job. Like, I don't know if I'd want to do that. I might want to do that.
No.
Maybe not.
I mean, it's kind of like, you're talking about the touring bands. It's kind of like that a little bit, but a lot of times they've got their gear with them, so like they've got to get it home, so that's just so weird it's a weird thing
they
to
would have
leave
to drive
the truck.
back.
Yeah, they have to drive back or have it flown back too. Well, it's weird to leave the truck and just hop on a plane.
I mean, if it's like a nationwide company, then you just
the company's not, but the truck company is. So like they rent a truck from someone else up in Seattle, use it to deliver things.
Like third party.
Right.
Yeah.
Weird.
Right. It's crazy. I mean, it's almost like just renting cars because you can rent a car somewhere and then just deliver it to one of their
like
other
Enterprise
locations
or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's wild. So it's not even the company it's wow. That's so weird.
Yeah.
I just couldn't ever be a truck driver, aside from the fact that I hate driving in general. But like you're just doing it by yourself, and I talk too much to be by myself that long.
Should be on CB radio all the time. Just
hey guys,
hanging out with whoever's talking.
What are you doing? Anybody want to like talk about your feelings right now?
Yeah, I was thinking about it. I was like, it would be cool, I think, a couple of times, like, just you load up on some audiobooks and you're just going for, 8-10 hours a day. But then I feel like I'd get really bored in the evenings, like just hanging out by myself.
Yeah.
How much audiobook can I listen to before I'm just like tired?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, I love road trips. That's like one of my favorite things. And most people.
But not alone.
Yeah, it's not alone, right? You have like people with you. There's like some interaction there. There's like a goal beyond just like.
You're not just
stuff.
Right. You're gonna go do something.
Yeah, like I'm going to do something. The road trip I like it. Some people don't, but like I like the part of the going there and the getting there and then going back. Like I like the whole thing. But like, I just have to deliver things and then I'm gone. Like that's just that's just weird. I was talking to Reid earlier this week about how I'm behind on my book reading goal this year.
You only got a couple weeks
got a couple weeks left. And so I was like, let me load up on some audiobooks, and all the audiobooks that
you want to listen to,
that I want to listen to are all like 1 billion hours long. They're all I'm like, I want to read some like dragon books or Lord of the Rings or whatever, like there's so many that I want to read and they're all like 20 hours long. I don't have that much time. But you would be loading up on 20-hour audiobooks, and there's no way.
No.
Like you could just like sustain that for longer than
a day.
It'd be brutal.
Yeah, that would be rough.
I know when Aubrey and we drove to Colorado, brought our dogs with us, and we drove back. And we listened to Jurassic Park on the ride back.
Nice.
And we listened to the whole thing in one day.
It's a good
Because it's like
audiobook.
16 hours, and we drove for like 16 hours. And so it was a ton of fun, but I don't know that I could do that every single day all by myself.
No.
Just, it's brutal.
No.
So,
Absolutely not.
but yeah, I just thought it was weird because how often you just like, hey, here's a pocket knife, you know? And it's a solid pocket knife.
So here's the thing to remember about weird jobs like that is that dude's making bank. That dude's making so much money, dude.
Absolutely.
Bro, my dad used to drive trucks, and so he drove for like FedEx and Watkins when that was around. I don't think it's around anymore. But he never did like the long distance truck driving or any of that
That's
stuff.
where
like
it's at.
overnight. And so like that deal,
Yeah.
he would talk about that a lot. Of like,
But you got to be away
that's
from
where
your
the money
family.
is.
So like if you're single, sure, you could do it for a while, you know.
Right.
but if you got a family, it's not
I
worth
mean, what
it.
kind of guy is, in a place where he's just giving out pocket knives? Is that a single dude? Is that a family man? I don't know. I want to know more
I
about
have
this
so
guy. Did
many
you find
questions.
out his name?
He also gave us three Red Bulls. He was like, I can't do any more Red Bulls. So
Some Red Bull.
he was like,
here's a pocket knife.
He's like, here's my leftover stuff from this trip that I just can't take with me.
and that's all he had left over was 3 Red Bulls and a pocket knife. That's efficient.
I'm
dude.
sure he had a bag, but like he couldn't take his pocket knife with
But
him.
that just feels like negligent on his end. I'm going to load this random dude up with 3 Red Bulls. And then
And a pocket knife.
what?
Well,
like, yeah, you're at a church,
Don't
but like,
use it all at once, but
We didn't drink any of the Red Bull. It's still
That's
at
funny,
the church.
dude.
So
jeez.
so you still have time.
yeah,
Gotcha.
for sure.
Shoot, that's wild.
Everybody
Man.
watch out. Gee whiz.
If you're out there, guy, if you're listening to this, we're praying for you. We hope you're doing well. Congratulations
like a
on your
normal
cool job.
God.
Anyway, my other story is from like much further. It was much further back in time. It's from
You're
high
traveling?
school.
Oh, wow.
Time traveling.
Time traveling.
Yeah, everybody hop in the time capsule.
Time
with me.
travels, gives his younger self the 3
A
Red
pocket knife.
Bulls,
and a pocket knife.
and that
Reid, was this you from the future?
changes the trajectory of his life.
Wow.
This is amazing.
Yeah. So this happened. This was a story from high school. I think I was a junior, but randomly, I have no idea where they came from or how I got them, but I wound up with some warts on my wrist.
I thought you were going to say pocket knife. I was ready for
I
a
wound up
random
with some
with a
pocket knife. No, I had warts on my wrist. Okay, and so like,
Uh-huh.
I don't know how much. Have you guys had warts before?
I have
Like,
never.
at all. Okay,
I've had him a couple times.
yeah. I had one, and I went to the doctor and had them burn it off, right? And that one went away for a while, but then it came back. So the thing about warts is they have like roots that
Yeah.
like they are like deep down in your skin, and they're very hard to get rid of. Like you can try freezing them, you can try burning them off. Don't burn them off; it smells horrible.
Ooh, it's your skin, right?
Right?
Yeah.
It's just skin, yeah. And so, and when you do get like part of the root out, it bleeds like crazy. Like it bleeds.
That part I
everywhere.
do remember.
Yes.
Just all the blood.
So warts come from when you touch frogs, right?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
People say that, but I don't know if there's any validity to that.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't
I'll be
handling
weed
frogs.
weeds right now.
And thank you. And the spot that I got it, like it would be the weirdest spot for me to touch a frog. Like I'd have to try really hard to like put the frog on my wrist in that spot, specifically just there.
So,
my God.
so then that's just so gross, man. I've never had one,
Right.
but it just feels like that's a really nasty thing. You think of a witch, you
Right.
think of a wart,
right,
you know?
they have warts. Yeah.
warts on her nose kind of deal.
Story's not over.
Oh,
So, I'm playing football, my junior year. I have this wart and it's just persistent. Like I've had it burned off before. I've tried to freeze it off before and it's still just persistent. It keeps coming back. I have tried like cutting the root out with a pocket knife. Not the one that I time traveled to give myself, but just a different one.
There's so many connections
Right.
with this knife.
literally Reid.
And so I'm just like, I'm at football practice one day and, I get caught up into like a tackle, a scrum, whatever you call it, and it just gets kind of ripped off and I just start bleeding profusely at practice.
whiz.
I can't practice anymore because I just can't get the bleeding to stop. My coach is like, why don't you just cut it out? And this coach was kind of crazy. His name was, Oh shoot, I can't think of his name.
Mr. Pocket Knife.
Right. But he was kind of a little bit insane, a little bit.
Okay.
And he was like, "I'll cut it out for you." And I was like, "No, don't. I don't want you digging around in my wrist with a pocket knife.
Here, take these Red Bulls.
I'll try to fix it myself." And so I got the bleeding to stop, and I was able to practice the rest of the week. But it's just persistent. You know, it kept. I would bleed so much at football practice from this one wart that just kept. It would get ripped off and then just come back.
And like you would wrap it and stuff, and it's still the same thing.
Yeah, it's just I couldn't get it stopped. I don't have this wart anymore because one day it's the craziest story of how I got rid of this wart. We're at church. We have a gymnasium at our church, right? And we're playing dodgeball in the church gym. But when we played dodgeball in high school, we played with like anything, any ball you could find. We played with
just football.
We're throwing dodgeballs. We're throwing volleyballs. We're throwing kickballs. We're throwing basketballs. We're just doming each other with like these hard, like inflated balls. My friend takes a volleyball from across the gym, throws it at me, and I kid you not, it skims my wart. And like the lace of the volleyball, like grips it and rips the whole thing out, like all the way to the root. And I'm bleeding profusely, just like gushing blood
all over the place.
Yeah. And so I like leave and I like go wrap it up. The wart never returned.
That's amazing.
Just sniper rifle,
just lasered it off.
Yes. The craziest thing, I've never had a wart again after that. Just volleyball, precision surgery on my wart.
The volleyball cure.
It's insane. Yeah.
Wow,
What?
dude.
I don't know how it happened, but it was
crazy.
just perfect. Perfect.
That is insane.
Yeah.
My mind's being blown over here reading about warts, and then he's talking about this volleyball. So common warts are caused by an infection with the HPV virus.
What does that mean?
Human
Have HPV.
papilloma.
Virus.
Yes.
The HPV.
There's more than 200
virus.
types of HPV, but only a
Okay.
few cause warts
Right. Which
or
one do I have?
papillomas on your hand.
No way.
They are non-cancerous tumors.
Y'all had tumors?
Tumor.
I've had many
It's
apparently.
not a tumor.
So you had a lot of
All
of
in,
warts.
all in the same spot.
Same spot.
Yeah.
Just it would just grow back. You mean?
Wow.
Yeah, gotcha.
So
And it kind of just looks like a blister, kind of, right? Like
No.
not at all.
it's like
It looks like a little hill and then plateaus and then back down.
have you ever had like a mole that's like not rounded? Like
That's
it's
not good to have a mole that's not rounded.
Oh,
right.
yeah,
I mean, it
that's-
can be bad.
That's cancer for sure.
It's kind of like that, except not a different color. It's just the same color
Gotcha.
skin. you know?
Interesting. Okay.
So,
Yeah. Gotcha.
It's wild.
Yeah, they
So-
are contagious and you can get them.
So they are contagious.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, so if he
From
like
frogs?
So maybe that's
No,
why people think
no.
it's from frogs, is because they're kind of like bumpy looking.
Could be.
Everybody's just handing out frogs. So
frogs, pocket knives, Red Bull.
like so the fact that volleyball like grazed your wart,
right.
it's now on the volleyball. So the next person that
Oh, no.
hit the
Right.
volleyball.
Well, I mean, but it doesn't necessarily. It's not like if you touch it, it's like gonna just like wherever you touch, you just suddenly have a wart. There's like it has to be like get into a cut or something.
no.
Yeah,
It
sure.
said like then they're talking about like spreading the germs like through towels, like if you share towels with
Right.
people.
But surely it has to be through like orifices because of, you know,
I don't like that word.
well, because you got holes in your skin of cuts and little, micro
I don't think cuts count
tears
as an
and things.
orifice.
I know, but like,
But like, why would I like? I had my hands all over those warts on my hand. Like I never got any other ones. Why not?
I don't, it chose you. I don't know.
it's like blooming. Where do they bloom?
Yeah.
Where do the warts bloom?
I feel like that's kind of deep.
Feels like it's a book, like
Where
Where the crawdads sing.
where the wild warts are.
Please
Gross. Absolutely
write
gross.
it. Write the book.
Nasty.
So, did you find anything out about the connection between frogs and warts?
No.
Or is it just like witches? People see witches with warts and witches with frogs, so they
Okay.
think warts.
Wait.
Frogs cause warts on witches.
Warts, witches.
Do frogs cause warts? Top Google search.
I
right
thought that's
the
what you
number
started
one.
out looking for.
That's the
No.
number one. She was doing weeds, remember? She was learning all about warts.
Layer Liz.
Wait, what? That totally went over my head. Can you really get warts from frogs? Warts are spread between humans by a virus only humans can contract. Contract? Contract.
Same word.
Therefore, frogs cannot give you warts. However, if you touch a frog,
You might get warts.
Wait, if you touch a frog or frog, depending on the species, you may develop symptoms from their skin secretions or poison. But you cannot get warts from a frog.
What about a toad?
Is it different? Is it different for a toad?
Do toads?
It's different for toads. I almost said turds.
Therefore, toads cannot give you warts.
Boom.
Nice.
There you go.
Nope.
Now we know.
Okay, what about alligators?
No.
They're kind of bumpy too.
Do your own
They got weird
research.
bumps.
Bumpy.
What about geckos?
Do your own research.
Jeez, dude.
Yeah, so that's my 2 stories for today.
Wow.
Wow.
Pocket knives and warts.
I think we're all better now because of those stories.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing
Did
those.
you learn something today?
Not a single thing.
Liz, how did you get rid of your warts?
It's really gross. I don't know if I want to share.
Did you with a volleyball or like a kickball or was it like
yeah.
a
Did you use a
baseball?
traditional method?
I
or-
hyperfixated and I just went
dug
in.
it out.
I
Yeah.
just, yeah.
I mean, I did that as well, but like mine
Never.
just wasn't successful.
Well, I was
Mark, dude.
successful.
Yeah.
Dang, dude.
It
You gotta
hurts though.
uproot.
When you're like
Yeah,
digging
no,
around,
straight
it
up.
hurts.
It was
bet.
right here in my
Ooh,
Yeah,
hand.
okay. Wow.
would not have enjoyed that.
no. I mean, speaking of picking out your warts, have you ever heard of a hammer-headed bat?
Ooh.
No, what?
They're disgusting. Absolutely. We're gonna put a picture on the. Oh, it's so icky. Look at them. That is a bat.
Ew, dude.
The
I bet you get warts from
hammerhead.
that for sure.
Oh,
You can get warts from that for sure.
wart vibes for sure. So these bats are giant. And
Yeah.
I don't remember, I think it was a TikTok I saw them on. And then it just like launched me down this hole. So their lifespan is up to 30 years. 30 years.
Holy crap.
It's as
They
old
are-
as me.
They are not endangered in the slightest. There's so many of them. The hammer-headed bat
I think we're in danger.
Where do they live?
is also known as the fruit bat or the big-lipped bat.
Wait, fruit bat? I thought fruit bats were tiny.
Not these.
Not these.
Oh,
It is
my.
a megabat distributed
Megabat.
in West and Central Africa.
Oh, cool. Okay. Not a problem.
We're fine. They're massive.
They're giant. They could just fly over here.
It's from
What's
Africa.
stopping them? Yeah.
Probably the ocean.
No, they could handle
The
it.
bajau on their lipa lipas.
They
They're
come over on the Lipa-Lipas.
Oh my gosh. They just get in the jet stream and vroom,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right on over.
They're
30,000 feet.
Yeah.
Easy.
They can fly, just making sure because they're
How
giant. As far as their heart desires.
Wow. It says that in Wikipedia, actually.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. No, so they are massive. The picture that I have on here, it's like a whole grown man, and it looks like it's about half of his body. And they're just like chilling in trees, eating the fruit from the trees. They're massive. They look disgusting. I was trying to look
It's really
up.
mean.
I'm so sorry, but I'm also not, because I was trying to look up the sound that they make. It is the sound of a screeching bird, but the majority of their sounds we can't hear
Oh,
because we're at like the
interesting.
pitch. But their like skin is like woolly. That's what I kept saying, and their wingspan is massive. I can't.
So it's
find
like a flying sheep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just think of a sheep with
and
wings.
wings, yeah,
Right.
but not
That's
as
crazy.
cute.
That wants to eat fruit and kill you.
There's no way that thing doesn't, sneak a couple people, couple children every now and then.
I don't know if it is like they look dangerous. But I just don't know. Are they?
Yeah.
They have a fox-like face, which
Yeah.
confirmed.
Yeah.
Their wingspan is just under 4 feet. It's so big. They're so icky.
That's terrifying.
So, how did you come across this? were they like rampaging in Africa or?
Yeah. So someone, their TikTok was just like, here, did you know these animals in Africa? And then it just showed these giant
Do you
megabats.
follow Discovery Channel on TikTok? Is that what it is?
No, but they do
Those
carry
bats.
they do carry the Ebola virus.
Oh, dude. Their scariest trait.
Right.
They carry
Ebola.
Also
Do they have
gives
like
warts.
fangs like vampire bats?
Wrong kind of bat, Reid.
Come on, dude.
It'd be a lot scarier
Not
if they
cool.
did.
That's where Dracula came from. It was just a woolly
It was just a
sheep
really
bat.
big one of these bats. What
Yeah.
are they called again?
Yeah, what are they? Hammerhead bat.
Hammerhead
I
bat.
couldn't remember the name.
Dracula was just a really big hammerhead bat.
Yeah. What do you think about the Cullens from Twilight?
That they were the hammerhead
Are they
bats.
are they hammerhead bats? They
So
come
are you
from-
saying that these
the
guys
wolves
sparkle
look-
in the sun too?
maybe
So they're like a combo of the Twilight wolves and
wolves? Oh yeah, the wolves.
The wolves
Twilight
and the
wolves.
Oh, the
vampires
woolly
Vampires.
ears.
came
They're
together to
woolly,
make
yeah.
the hammerhead bats.
Wow.
Exactly. Wow.
Yeah.
Now
Okay.
we know.
Nature.
This is nature.
Nature in all of its beauty.
It's amazing.
Oh man.
Isn't God's creation glorious?
This came after the fall for sure. For sure.
This is the fall. This is the
Icky.
act of sin here. This is bad. This is bad news.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I would, I it could just be me, but I think through scenarios like, what would I do if, what would I do if I came across
Right.
this like mega bat, this hammerhead bat? I'd legitimately probably would just freeze.
It
Yeah.
can't see you, right? If you don't move.
What is it? A T-Rex?
Yeah. The echolocation, I don't know. It thinks you're just like
I
a tree
guess.
or something.
No, I mean it would know.
Then it would
oh,
land
yeah.
on me.
would be
Wait, then
worse.
I'm not freezing.
Bro,
Right.
just imagine that thing. It's like got hands, like normal hands.
It's
Could
got a
you fight it?
job.
It's
you
got
file
a job.
stacks?
Children.
Do they fly in like packs like regular bats do?
Oh my god!
Like you just see 50,000 of them flying out of a cave.
just grown men with wings. Terrifying.
Golly.
just carry you off into the
That's
distance.
how that guy gets back to Seattle. He's
Stop.
Oh my gosh.
he's
Those-
flying back.
Those flying monsters from Power Rangers, you remember?
Oh yeah,
That's the
yeah,
hammerhead bat
yeah,
right
yeah.
there. It's like
it-
pick you up and
Is
fly.
Ivan Ooze make those?
No, it's like from the
other
island
one?
where they go find the
Oh yeah, it's
guy
just
who gives them their
monsters.
new
Yeah.
powers.
Yeah. that's a classic. Yeah. That's
well, yeah,
wild.
those are things that just stick in my brain.
This
How
is
many
the
things
scariest
scare you?
Christmas I've ever had. That's terrifying.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, that's gross. So I hope everybody enjoyed hearing about warts and flying bats. And
Yeah.
pocket knife,
Pocket
time
knives.
travelers.
let us know: would you drink 3 Red Bull and take a pocket knife from a stranger?
3 Red Bull.
Right.
It's the
The plural of bull is bull.
Red Bull.